Hey everybody, it's James here with Crypto Common Sense, and I wanted to sit down today and do a video teaching you how to trade a double bottom setup. I did a video yesterday talking about my stink bid strategy where I put in low ball bids at areas of interest and then wait for those bids to fill, and I figured I would follow that up today with another video teaching you a strategy that you can use in your own trading. Before I jump into the content for this video, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button, make sure to subscribe to the channel, make sure to leave me a comment, and make sure to check the description. There's a link there where you can join Patreon for just $7 a month. That helps to support this channel. It helps to keep these updates coming, and it also gives you access to more content. So the ironic thing is, every time I do a video, it seems like that's like a trade lesson instead of a prediction. Those videos don't do well with the YouTube audience. They always end up getting a lot of thumbs down. The average video that I do gets between 90 and 95% thumbs up rating. And every time I do a video that's like a content video, it seems like people get, some negative people come out. That video I shot yesterday is sitting at like 35% dislikes. And it's a strategy that I taught that somebody could use to change their lives, right? It's crazy to me. So if you're a person who leaves the thumbs up button on these videos, I just want to say again, I appreciate that. Thank you very much for that. If you're a person who's giving videos thumbs down when somebody's literally teaching you something for free, you're not a good person. You should go out there and work on yourself because you're being negative and putting toxicity out into the world. So in this video, we're going to talk about the double bottom. It's probably one of my favorite patterns to trade. It's a very reliable pattern, especially if you join it with other factors. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put a couple indicators on here because if you're brand new to trading, especially, indicators can be helpful. And so just to let you know what I have the price, I have the volume, this is volume, and I have the MACD, and I have the RSI. Double pattern is a very simple trade, and it's a very reliable trade setup, okay? You don't need to guess where Zcash is going. If you're trading this and you see this, okay, well this is, obviously a big downtrend, it's moving down, it's moving down, it's moving down. There's actually a double bottom back here too. We can talk about that next. Over here it's coming down, boom, comes down, puts in this big tail. So what this tail actually says is the bears tried to push this down, but there was buying interest at this level and it got pushed back up. And this is a pretty decent sized tail. It's about 5, almost 5.5, 6%, right? Took back the majority of this candle. So if we go back in time, the chart would look like this. And we can see here that RSI is oversold. Now again, RSI being oversold doesn't mean a lot. By itself, it doesn't matter. You can see that it got oversold back here and just kept going down. It's not a reason to take a trade. If you take a look at MACD, we'll notice that it's starting to put in a higher low. If you take a look at price, obviously it's just putting in lower low, lower low. So that's kind of a sign that this trend may be coming to an end, or it may be due for some type of bounce. Not enough to take a trade still. Demand tail, another sign this may be coming to an end, but not enough to take a trade. Look, back here, tail, more downside. Tail, more downside. Tail, more downside, right? So not enough so far. Oversold RSI. These are all like warning signs. They're not trade triggers. They're not trade setups. They're simply warning signs that says a trade may be pending. Hit play a little bit. Comes over, it's grinding sideways, still no trade. And now we have a trade. Because what happened is right here we got a low, and over here we put in a higher low, right? Didn't take out this low back here. So a higher low on the tail, but a lower low on the close. On RSI, we had a higher low on the close, so we have an unconfirmed bullish divergence down here. Hard to see because of this crap right here, but that is an unconfirmed bullish divergence. We had a bullish divergence on the MACD. We have a double bottom, and then we have a break in the neckline, all right? So the way that I would trade this is I would simply take a long position if it broke that neckline, all right? And I would probably go for the high there. And then my stop loss would be at the bottom of this shoulder. That's how it would look. Entry as soon as it breaks it. What I would do is I would enter in a stop limit order. The reason I want to do that is because I didn't want it to spike up 100% suddenly and fill me and give me a bad slippage. I want to try to get a fill near this neckline. And then that would fill the order, and I would have a 2-to-1 profit target, and the trade would look like this right here. Okay? Get this out of the way. Hit play. And there's the trade. That's how that works. So it'd be a 6.3% stop loss in this case and a 12.6% profit target. Doesn't mean I have to take profit there. Absolutely not. I can if I want to, right? Or I can try to ride it. But this is a trade. It's a very, very simple trade. It's a double bottom. In this case, double bottom had a demand tail, so that says, hey, this might be reversing. Had some bullish divergences on RSI, had some bullish divergence on the MACD. All those things were reasons that you could take this trade. And some people say, well, you didn't wait for the retest of the neckline. I didn't in this example because I had these other reasons. And by the way, I didn't take this trade. This is just a hypothetical. I'm just showing you an example, okay? But there were other reasons that supported this being a long versus kind of like, I'm not sure if it's going to double bottom or be a fake out or what this is going to be. And if you zoomed into like a 4-hour chart, it may have retested it. Look at this. So on a 4-hour chart, here's your double bottom. Okay, and it looks less than like a double bottom on that 4-hour chart and more like a range, which is really all double bottom is. It looks like you've got this range going like this. Okay, and to me, if I see a range like this and I see it, tiptoe out like it did here, and then have a rest, come back down as like this, and then break out on strength like this, to me, that's perfectly fine. And if you look, it actually did retest. So if you didn't want to get in there, you could have waited, let it do its thing, and then come back down and it's retesting this high back here. And to me, that would be a reason to get long, okay? Or you could be even more conservative and say, okay, well, here's the retest right here. And then when this candle closed, say, okay, well, it ate up most of this red candle, probably going to reverse. And you put a stop like that. It's a little tight on the stop, but, some people play it that way. Some people pull it back down here. Trade management's see, setups are like science. A setup is a setup. There's not a whole lot of wiggle room. It's either a setup or it's not. It's either double bottom or it's not. Trade management is art. Right? Picking your stop loss, deciding how tight to go. A lot of that is where, that's what separates somebody from being a decent trader and a great trader or a losing trader, is how they manage the trade. Getting into the trade is the easy part. And that's why for most people, I think it's easier to simply say, okay, I'm going to play it the same way every single time. So if you're a retest kind of person, when this retests, you long it. If you're a breakout sort of person, when it breaks that neckline, you long it, right? You take your 2-to-1 profit or your 3-to-1 profit, whatever you're going for, and you just stay consistent with that. But I'm not going to get super long-winded on trade management and stuff. I just, there's the double bottom. If we go back in time, I was, going to talk about this double bottom because it was the one that was happening right now. But of course, when we go back in time, we can see there was another one back here. Same thing, right? Watch this. So price comes down, it's coming down. Let's put the volume and everything back on there. Not really divergence in the MACD here, right? It's pretty flat, so we'll take that off. No divergence in the RSI back here, okay? But right here, there's baby divergence, and I do mean baby divergence, right? Right there. And we really, if we zoom in a bit, we would see this is just ranging, right? Boom, 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 boom. Looking pretty good. This looks like a higher low over here, actually in the 4-hour. And we could put a neckline right here. And we can enter if it breaks that neckline, right? Or wait for the retest, either way. So, boom, broke the neckline. And if you're entering that trade, and you got your stop down at this low, this shoulder low, it's 5.3%. You are going to go for 10.6% on your profit. And done. Just like that. And these are Bitcoin trades, right? This is Zcash versus Bitcoin. So that's adding 10% to your stack of Bitcoin. If you're a Bitcoin hodler and a long-term Bitcoin believer, there you go. You're just getting free Bitcoin. All right. If we zoom in on this and we look at it to see if it got a retest, let's go to a 4-hour chart and see. No retest, right? This just straight up broke out and took off. Just took off. So it'd be a tough one. If you're not an aggressive trader, it'd be a tough one because there was just nothing, no pullback whatsoever. You would almost, well, no, I was going to say you'd almost need more confirmation, but there was more confirmation. Look at this, right? Here's your volume. See how your volume spikes up right there? Boom, big spike right there. And let's say that you didn't take that break. Let's say that you wanted a little more confirmation. Well, this is another pretty wide body green candle, pretty good volume. You could even just go ahead and enter there. And then your stop would be about 8% then, so it'd be a much higher profit target. And that may have got stopped out. That may not have worked. Let's see. No, it worked. Oh, and look at that. Here's your retest right here. Okay, so this came down, and you can say, well, it didn't quite retest it. It didn't, right? It got very close, but look what it did on a 4-hour chart. That was another double bottom, right? Boom, 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 boom. And that one did retest. Watch. Retest. All right. Double bottoms. I mean, what can you say? They're awesome, right? They're just awesome. And they're reliable. They're consistent. They're a pattern that you can trade on any asset. So that is the Zcash/Bitcoin chart. Video is getting fairly long, but I'll do one more. I'm just going to go off and look at stocks, but I know most people who watch this channel actually don't trade stocks, so we'll just stick with crypto examples. So again, this is an example I've used many times in the past. Just keep this in mind. That chart we just looked at of Zcash was a Zcash Bitcoin chart on a daily level. You can also trade monthly charts, weekly charts, even yearly charts. So again, remember, if we looked at an Ethereum chart, right, we would see this is a monthly Ethereum chart. Let's go to weekly. So weekly Ethereum chart here. Here's your double bottom. There's your neckline. And you could play the breakout here with the stop down here. That trade would look like this here. And again, this is versus Bitcoin. So that would be that trade there, 2-to-1. Pull it over. Target was hit. And then boom, you get a retest of the neckline right here. You get another retest of the neckline here. You actually get tweezer bottoms on top of that neckline. Well, that is a trade that I'm taking 99 times out of 100. Stop down there, 22% stop, 44% profit target, boom. In and out in a couple of weeks. Profit target hit. All right. And there you have it. And I know it went up way after that. That's fine. It's perfectly fine that it went up after that. It doesn't mean I would have caught it, right? If I'm trading it, these are the setups. These are the way it would have worked. And there's several ways you can do this. For example, if you're stacking Bitcoin, right, you might just go ahead and say, I'll take my profits and run. You might also say, okay, I made, let's just say hypothetically for easy math, you made 1 Bitcoin profit. You're risking a half a Bitcoin. You made 1 Bitcoin here. Risking a half Bitcoin, made 1 Bitcoin here. You can always cash out the Bitcoin you put in and just keep the free Ethereum, if that makes sense, right? So if you're risking a half a Bitcoin here, when it goes up and you're 1 Bitcoin in the profit, you can cash out half a Bitcoin worth of Ethereum, pay yourself back, and then just hold the rest. If you believe in the altcoin, I personally would say that for most people, it's better to go ahead and stack Satoshis if you're going to stack crypto than it is to stack alts. But to each their own. There's lots of strategies you can employ. All right, so there's how that looks. Just keep in mind, again, it's super important to understand that if you're trading alts, trade alts versus Bitcoin. All right, don't trade alts versus US dollars or British pounds or whatever fiat currency that you do business in, because you'll have a chart like a Ethereum chart on the US dollar. It looked really, really overextended back here, like especially right here in February. But then you look at an Ethereum chart on Bitcoin, and back in February, which was right here, it didn't look that extended, right? It didn't look all like, oh gosh, it's going to go down to 0 or go down 50 or 60%, right? It didn't look bad at all. It was like a little half retracement, breaking out of this range. It just broke out here, retesting this old support. Didn't look bad at all, okay? So keep that stuff in mind. It's very important. All that being said, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up here, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed the trading lesson, the trading tutorial. I hope you get a lot out of it. Please remember, I am just some guy sitting in a spare bedroom, which means that nothing in the video is financial advice. You should always go out and do your own due diligence and seek out professional financial advice from a licensed financial advisor. before making any type of investment in cryptocurrency. If you haven't already, go ahead and give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and check the description for a link where you can join Patreon for just $7 a month. Again, that supports the channel and also gives you access to additional content. This is James with Crypto Common Sense, reminding you to please trade safe.